Who is making these technologically advanced, living spacesuits? Or is it possible that some aliens have evolved to travel a distance far greater than previously imagined? January 1964, Paris, France. Retired Army Command Sergeant Major Robert O. Dean is given NATO's highest top-secret clearance while stationed at the Supreme Headquarters Operations Center.
So Army Command Sergeant Major Robert Dean in 1964 is given this document. And this document is written by just about every NATO representative that we have. And in it is disclosed a crash where 12 bodies were recovered.
One particular case catches his attention. The case contains pictures detailing a 30-meter disc that crashed in Timmensdorfer, Germany, near the Baltic Sea in 1961. 12 small alien bodies are recovered, but the description of the autopsy is what really gets Dean's attention.
In this case, it was reported that 12 near-identical entities were involved and were killed as a result of this crash. And when this craft was recovered, these entities were found with very, very small differences. It was almost as if this was a cookie-cutter design. And again, this is the first time, really, that the idea of clones enters the fray.
Are some aliens mere shells or clones with an artificial consciousness? Could this be why many eyewitnesses report robotic and biological behaviors during close encounters? Coming up, the artificial nature of alien biology has some experts questioning new technology and the future of the human body.
On the next Modern Family.
Who are you talking to? Bebe.
Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. The time to act is now. Tell us your story. Evidence suggests that aliens may have a second skin or a spacesuit integrated with their entire bodies. But is this a product of evolution or scientific design?
You know, we're talking about, millimeters of skin, not a bulky, 4-inch suit. Then obviously the material they're using is highly advanced. The material itself may be nanotechnology type material that can adapt or change its structure molecularly to insulate the being from the environment.
Similar to countless reports of alien spacesuits, a biosuit form fits to the body. It uses coils made from nickel titanium shape memory alloys. These highly experimental metals can shrink when heated and expand when cooled, creating an active compression garment that applies pressure directly onto the skin instead of pressurizing gas in a suit. Scientists consider the biosuit a giant leap forward in mobility for astronauts.
People have talked about the development of essentially a second skin, and there is indeed a Massachusetts Institute of Technology project, the so-called second skin spacesuit, to design something so lightweight but yet so strong that effectively the astronaut wouldn't even be aware that they were in a spacesuit at all.
Is the spacesuit evolving to fit us? Or like aliens, will we evolve to fit the spacesuit? This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Saucer. For decades, it's been synonymous with UFO terror. But millions of reported encounters, in fact, tell a very different story. Slowly but surely, saucer sightings have been on the decline. Fear has taken a new shape. Black triangles. Reports say they can penetrate the world's highest security airspace with ease. And our most powerful weapons have proven powerless against them.
I think it's rather obvious that the United States military and government would keep it a secret. I think the reason is simple: fear.
What are black triangles? Who is at the controls? Is a new alien species lurking in our skies? And most importantly, why are they here? Join us as we track the rise of the Black Triangles on Unsealed Alien Files. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secrets on planet Earth. Jacksonville, Florida, October 27th, 1967. Flight instructor Charlie Little and 3 others are flying at night over the Atlantic coast when they catch sight of a bright light closing on their aircraft. Fearing a mid-air collision, Little descends to 6,500 feet. But the maneuver appears to only make matters worse, as the pilot now finds his craft pursued by 6 lights flying in perfect horizontal formation. Little and his passengers watch in terror as the lights rush toward them. They brace for impact, but the fateful moment never comes. Instead, the flyers find themselves enveloped in a green light. Outside, they see a massive triangular UFO with sides measuring over 200 feet. Seconds later, there is a blinding flash, and the triangle is gone. The pilot can't believe what he's just seen. But on returning to Jacksonville, Little is informed that a commercial pilot flying over Washington, D.C. has just reported a UFO matching the Jacksonville object. What were these massive triangles? How did one manage to penetrate the most closely monitored airspace on Earth? And why was the public never informed of the incursion?
If we were to let the public know that we, meaning America, the strongest military in the world, is no longer #1, how many people would fear that? How many would know that now there is an enemy that could beat us?
20 years after Jacksonville, the triangles step out of the shadows and reveal themselves to the world. Unsealed case file: The Belgian Wave. Eupen, Belgium, November 29th, 1989. 2 police officers patrolling a country road spot a blinding light coming from a nearby field. Arriving on the scene, they are astounded to see an enormous black triangle hovering silently overhead. Blazing lights emanate from each of the 3 corners, while a single blood-red beacon blinks on and off at its heart. The men look on in astonishment as the UFO begins moving silently toward the nearby town. They immediately set out in pursuit. Arriving in Eupen, they are among dozens who watch spellbound as it hangs motionless above the town for over 30 minutes. By the end of the night, an estimated 1,500 people will report a UFO encounter in one of history's biggest mass sightings. But for Belgium, the Eupen incident is only the beginning. Over the next 2 years, the nation will experience an unending wave of black triangle sightings that leave authorities scrambling for answers. On several occasions, F-16 fighters are ordered to intercept the objects. But each time they attempt to lock on to the triangles with their targeting systems, they mysteriously malfunction, only to switch back on after the objects are out of range. By the time the wave comes to an end in 1991, some 13,000 people claim to have seen a UFO. Skeptics declare the black triangles to be American stealth aircraft on routine maneuvers, but the Air Force flatly denies these allegations.
They knew the objects were there, and yet they weren't ours. So the big question is, whose were they?
The Belgian UFO wave remains one of the most extensively documented series of encounters on record. Were they really UFOs? Or was the U.S. military hiding something? Coming up, we investigate shocking reports that black triangles may not be alien at all. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. According to many experts, massive black triangles have replaced flying saucers as the dominant UFOs in our skies. But other encounters turn this theory upside down, raising serious questions as to whether these black triangles really are from another world. Fulda, West Germany, 1989. Sergeant Clifford Stone of the United States Army is on duty in a guard tower overlooking the closely monitored border with the Communist East. Stone's job is to prevent anyone from crossing and to monitor enemy activity. But today, the veteran soldier receives a report that a Soviet aircraft is speeding toward them, dangerously close to the ground. But as it comes into view, Stone quickly realizes this is unlike any enemy plane he's ever seen. It's an enormous black triangle speeding toward them. The object comes to a sudden stop directly above. The underside reveals clusters of multicolored lights near each corner and a single flashing red light at its heart.
He claims that the UFO he saw was a large, triangle-shaped object with a red pulsating light. It's like right out of a UFO textbook.
Stone looks on in total astonishment as the UFO looms silently over them. A radio transmission reveals that jet fighters on both sides of the border are scrambling to intercept the UFO. Stone fears the intruder's appearance may spark a dangerous confrontation between East and West that could quickly escalate to all-out nuclear war. But before they take to the air, the triangle disappears into the night. An investigation into the incident reveals the triangle generated high levels of radiation so intense they should have killed all witnesses on both sides of the wire. But despite some nausea, none will suffer any lasting effects. In the aftermath, Stone and his men are told the UFO was in reality the prototype of a new Soviet attack aircraft. Is it possible? Or was the enemy aircraft's story a smokescreen to conceal an even more explosive secret? Unsealed Case File, X-47B. June 14th, 2012, Washington, D.C. Dozens of commuters report a triangular UFO in the middle of the city. But it isn't in the sky overhead. It's being carried on the back of an 18-wheel transport.
Everybody was scared because all of a sudden they saw this craft that was shrouded with some type of covering that looked exactly like a UFO.
But it soon revealed the UFO isn't what it seems. The U.S. Navy confirms the aircraft is in fact the new unmanned X-47B attack drone, and it's unlike any that's come before. It requires only a short runway for takeoff and landing. It can cruise at just under the speed of sound and has 3 times the range of any current technology. But many ufologists have expressed grave concerns about the X-47. They believe the aircraft may be the product of the biggest government cover-up of all time.
When you look at the technology, like the Beltway UFO, these ideas aren't just going to come out of thin air. There's another thought process, though, that says that this technology was not necessarily from the human brain, but given to us by an alien civilization.
The appearance of the X-47 has given new life to a theory long held by ufologists that generations of cutting-edge U.S. military aircraft have been developed using alien technology recovered from UFO crash sites. Is it true? Could this new killer drone be the man-made product of alien technology? But if it is, why were witnesses in Washington, D.C. so quick to assume the X-47 was a UFO? Was it a simple case of mistaken identity? Or was something else at work? Something hidden deep in their subconscious, brought to light by the presence of the drone. Coming up, we investigate compelling evidence black triangles have the power to tap into the human mind. This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet